In this video, we're going to go over the 2025 Mets starting rotation. In order for the Mets to have a successful season this year, the starting rotation is going to have to play a big part in it. A couple days ago, the starting rotation was announced, so I'll go over that. And for the sake of this video, I will not be discussing Sean Manaea or Frankie Montas, since they're both going to start the season on the IL. This offseason, the Mets struck pretty early and signed a pitcher from the crosstown rivals. The only thing was, this was Clay Holmes. He was a reliever. He was the Yankee closer until he lost his job late last season. The Yankees initially went to closer by committee, and then Luke Weaver took over. Clay Holmes will be turning 32 tomorrow, and he's going to be the Mets opening day starter. Now, Clay started in the Pirates organization in 2018 and started 4 games in his debut season. However, the 311 appearances besides those 4 starts have all been out of the bullpen. However, Clay's not your typical reliever. He has a starter's arsenal. So while he relied heavily on 3 pitches last year, which were the slider, the sinker, and the sweeper, and he has an elite sinker. He also started throwing his four-seam fastball late last season, and he added a new pitch, a changeup, which is already being regarded as a plus pitch for him. This spring training, he pitched fantastically. He pitched 19 in the 3rd innings. He only gave up 7 hits and 8 walks. I mean, gotta love a sub-1 whip, right? Meanwhile, he struck out 23 batters in those 19 innings. Now look, I know it's spring training, but had he been rocked, the narrative would have been, what are the Mets doing? He's horrible. The Mets are a clown. He pitched well. We need to see it translate into the season, but I'd rather him have pitched well in the spring training than not. So, we'll see him opening day tomorrow, 4:10 in Houston versus Framber Valdez and the Houston Astros. So, here's a prediction I'm going to have for you, is that Clay Holmes is going to be an NL All-Star this season. So, we'll see, when the All-Star selections come, we'll see if I'm right about that. Following Holmes in the rotation is Tylor Megill. Now, Tyler just has a habit of eking out to find a way to get himself on the opening day roster year after year. And I think us Met fans are finally waiting for him to have that breakout season similar to what David Peterson had last year. The key for Megill is going to be to attack the zone and limit the number of walks he gives up. He pitches fairly well this spring. He only had 2.1 walks per 9 innings. In comparison's sake, the last 2 seasons, he gave up 4.1 and 3.7. For his career, he gives up 3.4 walks per 9. So the key to his success is to take what he did in spring training and run off in the regular season and limit those walks and attack the zone. Now, following Megill is going to be Griffin Canning. Who had Griffin Canning on the bingo card? Not me, that's for sure. So he's kind of an under-the-radar signing in that actually last year he was probably statistically the worst pitcher in baseball. He's well regarded for his stuff, but the stuff wasn't translating. Now, the Mets liked his potential. Stearns and his team saw something in him that they thought maybe they could make some tweaks, use a pitching lab to kind of somewhat reinvent him. It's kind of worked this spring training. Again, in spring training, the key for him is going to be to keep the ball in the ballpark and get more swings and misses and limit his walks as well. Again, we need to see it translate, but, he's done well this spring. Hopefully it continues into the regular season. Following Griffin Canning is David Peterson. Now, David was definitely the breakout pitcher for the Mets last year. He was phenomenal. There's nothing more to say on that. He needs to continue to build on that and hopefully have a full, healthy season. Slotted in as the 5th starter now, we have Kodai Senga. Now, Kodai was healthy enough to be the opening day starter. The Mets just felt, it would be beneficial to him to give him the extra days of rest. He pretty much missed the entire season last year with shoulder issues, tricep issues, and then the infamous, calf issue when he tried to catch that pop-up. The key for him is going to be to stay healthy. I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's also going to be to see how the league reacts and adjusts to the forkball. It's a pitch that's really hard to lay off on, but, if the ghost fork, they're able to lay off on that pitch, often it dives out of the zone. Then what is he going to do? How is he going to adjust to major league hitters? So he's going to have to stay healthy. We're going to have to see how the league adjusts to him if they have, and when they do, if they do, what adjustments he's going to make. So that's our starting rotation beginning tomorrow. I mean, Let me know which starting pitcher you feel will have the best year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.